This is a sponsored video. Just to let you know.
The aim of the game in KeyForge is to forge 3 keys.
But how do I forge a key?
Thanks, Ben. So you forge keys by spending 6 ember. You have a deck of cards. Each deck is completely unique, and you use the creatures and artifacts and actions in this card to try and generate ember faster than your opponent.
So yeah, each deck is procedurally generated and has a unique card list. So if you buy a deck, that deck is yours. This one is called Radiant Argus the Supreme.
Yeah, mine's called Miss Onyx Censorious. Some of them have got ridiculous names.
This one's my favourite. It's called She That Artificially Creates the Oracle.
There you go. So for these two, what we're going to use in this demonstration are the starter decks. So these are actually the only ones that are fixed. Anyway, so you start by drawing yourself 6 cards, and then we have to flip a coin to see who goes first. Do you have a coin, Ben?
I have the KeyForge coin.
We'll go for that.
Do you want blue or grey?
I will pick the forged side. Nice. So I go first. I draw an extra card because I'm the first player. So I've got 7 in my hand, but I'm only allowed to play 1 on my first turn. Now every turn starts with an opportunity to forge a key. This is the only time you can forge keys, at the very start of your turn. You can't do it during your turn. I don't have any ember at the moment, so I can't forge a key. Sorry, these aren't actually forged yet. I'm cheating, Ben. I've actually won the game already. And then step 2 is I choose a house. Now each deck in KeyForge is made up of 3 houses. In this case, I've got Dis, Shadows, and Brobnar.
I've got Logos, Sanctum, and the Untamed.
Interesting. So that might change my playstyle. It's not going to. So I'm going to pick Dis as my house, and I can only play 1 card on my first turn, so I will play a creature, a Dust Imp. So this card has a number with a red background. This is both its attack and its health. It also has a shield icon. In this case, this is armor, but the Dust Imp has no armor. It also has card text. In this case, it says, when it's destroyed, I gain 2 ember. So this is a crappy little imp. When he dies, though, I'm going to get 2 ember, which is pretty useful. So when creatures or artifacts enter the battlefield, they actually enter exhausted, which means they can't be used on this turn. At the end of my turn, however, everything readies up. Also at the end of my turn, I check to see whether I've got 6 cards in hand, and if not, I draw up to 6. But because I started with 6, I have the same amount of cards. So that is over to you, Ben, for your first turn.
So in my turn, first of all, I check to see if I can forge a key, but I have no ember, so I can't. Then I choose a house, and I choose the house Logos, which is kind of like a tech science house. And I'm going to play an artifact, the Library of Babel, which comes into play exhausted. And I'm going to play a creature, because I can play every Logos card in my hand.
Yeah.
There's no resource costs or anything like that. I can simply just play every Logos card I have. So I'm going to bring in the Bat Drone, who's a creature, also comes in exhausted. This library, next turn, I could potentially use it as an action to draw a card. So this is a nice little thing that will just stay there for most of the game and just draw me a card. I've also got the Bat Drone, which is quite a weak creature with only 2 attack, but it has some key words, like skirmish. When you use this creature to fight, it is dealt no damage in return. What that means is, if it survives in my turn, I can attack you and take no damage back. It also has a rule called fight. That means if this Bat Drone attacks you and survives, it will steal 1 of your ember and give it to me. Then, after my action phase, everything readies up. Then I draw 2 more cards to get back up to 6.
Okay, so neither of us got any ember yet. And I'm going to pick the same house I picked last time. I'm going to pick Dis again. Now, what that allows me to do is use anything that's on the field that is Dis, any artifacts or creatures that are Dis, and also play any cards out of my hand that are Dis that I want. If I picked another house, I wouldn't be able to use my Dust Imp. And I quite want to use it because I don't really like your Bat Drone hanging around. I feel like if I left it there, it would kill my Dust Imp. You'd start stealing ember off me, and I'd be in trouble. So my first action, I'm going to fight with the Dust Imp. I'm going to choose a target, the Bat Drone, and these two are going to fight each other. When creatures fight, they both deal their damage to each other. Damage is permanent. So if either of these creatures had 3 life, we would actually put markers on them to show that they'd taken damage. In this case, both of them die, and they go to our discard piles. Now, when mine's destroyed, I gain 2 ember. Ah! There you go, look, my first ember. And then I can play all the rest of my Dis cards. So I've got an artifact, a Dominator Bauble. This I can use as an action to use a friendly creature from any house. So it doesn't have to be tied to Dis. However, I would have to use Dis if I wanted to use this. So that comes in exhausted. I've got a Demon, a Shula. If your opponent has 4 or more Ember, I can steal one. Ooh. You don't have any, but it's a big creature and it's going to hold the board nicely. And then I've got a Mind Barb. It's an action that when I play it, I gain an Ember. So it actually gives me resources for playing it, which is interesting. See, that's shown in the top left of the card, how much it gives you. And when I play this, you have to discard a random card from your hand.
Oh man, it's my Witch of the Eye.
There you
go. Going to use her.
So that actually is all I can do on my turn. I ready up everything that's exhausted, and I draw to 6.
So I'm going to choose the House Sanctum, which are these like Holy Templars. First card I'm going to play is Champion Anathiel. He's quite a large creature. He's got 6 power. He also has 1 armor.
Right.
Which means the first damage he takes every turn is ignored completely.
Okay.
It doesn't work against every attack, just the first attack each turn.
Okay, so it comes back every turn.
He also has the rule Taunt, which means this creature's neighbours can't be attacked unless they have Taunt. So anything that's next to him is safe.
Okay.
Then next to him, I'm going to play the Staunch Knight. A power 4 creature with 2 armor. Now the Staunch Knight gets +2 power while it's on a flank.
Okay.
Which means as long as it's not got a creature either side of it, it's going to have +2 power. It's going to be power 6. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to play the Raiding Knight.
Wow, now, another creature.
I got 3 Sanctum creatures. So when you place a new creature, you can only put them on a flank. I can't put them in between 2 creatures that are already on the table.
Okay.
So I'm going to put him on this side.
That keeps your Sacred Knight's buff up, doesn't it?
It does. The champion's Taunt benefits both creatures now, and the Staunch Knight remains on the flank for the power.
Wow, so this is like a really strong threat you've suddenly got here. I'm scared.
Now lastly, the Raiding Knight has an ability called Play. So when I play this card, he captures one of your Ember.
Oh my gosh!
So I take your Ember and I put it on the Raiding Knight. Now if the Raiding Knight leaves play for any reason, is killed or shuffled into my deck or whatever, you can get that Ember back.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so everything ready's up for next turn. And I refill my hand up to 6 cards.
Cool. Okay, so I can't forge a key. I'm gonna pick Brobnar, and I'm first of all gonna play an upgrade, Blood of Titans. This creature gets 5+ power, so this Shula is now a 10/10 creature. I've actually got these power cards which I can use to upgrade it, but I think I'll just put that under there so you know that it's a really badass demon. Now, of course, it's the Dis house, so I can't actually use that creature because I've picked Brobnar this turn. But fortunately, I have another card that I can play. I have a Ganger Chieftain. He is Brobnar. He comes in exhausted, but his play ability is you may ready and fight with a neighbouring creature. That creature may be from any house.
Oh.
So if the Shula was Brobnar, I could have attacked to use it up, and then readied it again with this character, and then attacked again, you see.
Wow.
But so it's doubly powerful if you're using things on the same house. But in this case, I'm going to trigger this ability to ready my Shula and attack your taunting creature. That means that this will do 10 damage to your creature, which it's got 6 health and 1 armor, so it takes 7, which is enough to kill it, and it will take 6 damage back. So 6 damage will go on here, but because it's upgraded, it will survive with 4 life remaining. Although he's wounded, he will actually still deal 10 damage until he dies. And my final card of Brobnar is Smash. It's another creature, it's a giant, and when he comes out and has played, he can stun a creature. So I think I'm going to stun your Staunch Knight. So what this means is the next time you pick the Staunch Knight to use for an action, whether it's fighting or reaping or use the action on it, the stun card will be discarded. Now there is a thing you can do with your creatures instead of fight, and any creatures can do this, called reaping, which is rather than fight, you just exhaust them and you say you're going to reap with them, and that gains you 1 Ember. Certain cards are particularly good at reaping, and they will have an ability which gives them a bonus when they reap. So I'll take an Ember for Blood of Titans. I should have done that earlier. Sorry, Ben. Bad play. I will ready up all my creatures, and then I will draw up to 6.
Okay. I'm going to pick Logos, and I'm going to play an action, Twin Bolt Emission.
Oh my gosh.
Which is all actions are played immediately and then discarded.
Yeah.
This one deals 2 damage to 2 different creatures.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to choose to do 2 damage to the Ganger Chieftain and 2 damage to Smash, so that they both only have 3 health left and will die if they try to fight my knights.
Okay, spooky.
I also generate an ember for casting that. I'm also going to play a creature, Doc Bookton. It's 5 power, and when it reaps, it also draws a card as well as generating an ember.
So that's what we were talking about last turn. Okay.
Right, then I'm going to use my artifact, the Library of Babel. I think I called it Babel earlier. It's a bit confusing.
Well, I think it's a reference to probably historical library full of cards. So you get to draw a card with that.
I do, yeah.
That's cool.
I get to draw a card, and if it's in-house Logos, I can play it straight away.
Ah.
And it is.
What is it?
It's a Wild Wormhole. Another action, which first of all generates an ember.
Oh my gosh, you're going off.
I'm on a roll. And this says, play the top card of your deck, no matter what house it's from.
I'm just going to play.
I'm just going to keep playing. So the next card is... It's a creature called a Dust Pixie. I'm going to put it over here. Comes in exhausted.
It gives you 2 more ember.
It generates 2 ember.
Wow. Okay, well that actually, you only played 2 cards actually on that turn, but it triggered additional stuff to happen.
Yeah, I think
interesting.
that's Logos' theme. They have a lot of draw card abilities.
Cool.
Then at the end of my turn, it all readies up, and I shall draw up to 6.
Well, now as a Shadows player, I'm thinking all of that ember there is pretty juicy. Okay, so my turn. I can't forge a key yet, but I'm looking at your big pile of ember, and my 3rd house is Shadows, and they love stealing.
No.
So first off, I've got an Urchin. He's a 1 creature who, when I play him, he steals me an ember, which is fantastic. He's also elusive, which is a key word that means that he's a very defensive creature. So if he's attacked, he ignores that first instance of fighting damage, not sort of any other damage that you might have from a twin bolt emission or something. So he comes in exhausted. Next up, I've got an action, Nerve Blast. Steal 1, so I can steal another one. And if you do, deal 2 damage to a creature. I think I'll put the creature damage on Doc Bookton, because he looks like a bit more of a serious threat. The Dust Pixie doesn't really have any abilities, so I'm not really too worried about it. I could kill it, but actually I'm more concerned about that in the long run. And then finally I have an action called Too Much to Protect. This is an action that actually doesn't do anything. It's steal all but 6 of your opponent's ember. So it's a card that's really for if you got out of control.
Oh, now if I had just a big pile of like 10 ember, you'd steal some.
However, when I play it, even though it doesn't do anything, it still generates me an ember because it's got an ember on the cost. So I go up to 6 ember. I can, if I want, discard cards in Shadows. So for example, if I had a card which did 3 damage to every creature, I wouldn't want to kill my own board. I can choose to discard Shadows cards or the card of the house that I'm in at that time, if I want to. So that's the end of my turn. I'm going to ready up my Urchin. I'm going to draw up to 6. And because I have 6 ember, which means I can forge a key next turn, I'm going to say to Ben, check. You can say whatever you want, but just to let your opponent know that you've got enough ember in your stack, that you're a threat.
I like that rule. It's really polite.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could like just have a pile of ember. They're not paying attention, and then you go, "Oh, by the way, I've won the game."
Yeah. So it's just a sort of polite thing. Good luck, Ben.
Well, I don't think I can steal any of your ember to stop you forging a key, but I'm going to attack and try to kill some of your creatures to see if I can catch up quicker. So I'm going to choose House Sanctum, and the first thing I'm going to play is the Shield of Justice.
Cool.
It generates me an ember, and it says, for the remainder of the turn, friendly creatures cannot be dealt damage.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So I'm going to attack with my Raiding Knight, and attack your Shula.
Okay. Well, you take no damage, but that's good, because you would take 10 otherwise.
So normally I would have taken 10 and died, but my Shield of Justice protects me, and you die.
That's great. That's a great card.
Then I'm going to take an action with the Staunch Knight, but instead of taking any actions, it just removes its stun card.
Did you like misdeploy him? I think you probably
I did.
You forgot that you had to keep him on a flank.
Yeah, so the Staunch Knight gets +2 power on the flank, but I put Doc Bookton in the way.
Oops. You should have deployed him on the other side.
Misplays.
Yeah, that's part of the game. It's like these are the things you learn from playing. So yeah, we're learning with you guys.
And then lastly, I'll put down Sergeant Zachiel.
Okay.
Now, when he comes into play, he can ready and fight with a neighbouring creature.
Okay, wow, straight away.
So it's just like your guy, Smash. He's going to get Doc Bookton to fight.
Right.
Now I'm going to have Doc Bookton attack your Ganger Chieftain.
Right.
I deal 5 damage to you. You deal 5 damage to me, but my Shield of Justice protects me from that damage.
Okay.
Which means the Ganger Chieftain is killed and Doc Bookton survives.
You got it?
Right, that's the end of my turn. I'm going to draw back up to 6 and ready up. So although I'm behind on Ember Collection, I do have strong board control.
You do. which means you can reap away. And I don't really want to let that get out of hand because that will be very, very strong. Yeah, so at the start of my turn,
KeyForge!
I'm going to forge the red key. Well, there we go. I think that just about covers the basics. So, and also I'm a bit scared of Ben's situation. So I'm just going to give up right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Play obviously continues until one player forges 3 keys. We're going to play a few full games of this on the channel, so subscribe and stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.